Mark needed a laptop. Not just any laptop, a powerful one. He was working on a huge project, he'd said, eyes wide with excitement. His own laptop had chosen this critical moment to die. He'd be eternally grateful, he'd promised, if I could lend him mine. It was my new MacBook Pro, the one I saved for months to buy. The one I babied. But Mark was my friend. He was desperate. What are friends for? I set a firm return date, just 2 weeks. He promised, swore on our friendship, he'd return it before then. Trusting, naive, I handed it over. 2 weeks. That's all it was supposed to be. 2 weeks that stretched into a month of unanswered texts, ignored calls, and a growing pit of dread in my stomach. Days turned into weeks. Each unanswered text from me was a brick on my chest, making it harder to breathe. Mark wasn't answering my calls. His social media went silent. I tried to rationalize. Maybe something happened, an accident, family emergency. But the silence was deafening. It screamed louder than any excuse. My laptop, my lifeline, all my work, my photos, my life, in his hands. The knot in my stomach tightened. Something was wrong. Terribly wrong. The easygoing worry had morphed into full-blown panic. Sleep became a distant memory. Every time my phone buzzed, my heart leaped into my throat. Friends offered platitudes. "He'll return it," they'd say. "Don't worry." But their words rang hollow. I couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was at play. This wasn't like Mark. He was irresponsible, sure, but this was different. I needed to take action. I had to find Mark, and I had to get my laptop back. His apartment door was ajar. A chill ran down my spine. "Mark?" I called out, my voice trembling. The apartment was empty. Clothes strewn everywhere. Half-eaten takeout containers littered the counter. The air was thick with the stench of stale beer and desperation. My heart pounded in my ears as I searched. Then I saw it, my laptop, open, on his desk. Relief washed over me, then vanished as I glanced at the screen. It wasn't my familiar desktop. Instead, lines of code, complex and foreign, filled the screen. This wasn't graphic design, Mark's supposed big project. This was something else, something dark. I found him at a dingy bar downtown, hunched over a beer. The anger that had been simmering inside me boiled over. "Mark!" I spat, my voice shaking with a potent cocktail of fury and fear. "What the hell is going on?" He flinched, his eyes bloodshot and filled with a chilling mix of guilt and defiance. I can explain," he stammered. The lies tumbled out of him, each one a slap in the face. He hadn't meant to steal it, he said. He just needed money. A quick job he'd been offered, hacking into a company database. My trust, my friendship felt like a cheap trinket he'd tossed aside. All those years, all those memories tainted by his betrayal. The police arrived. Sirens wailed, their red and blue lights painting the street in a kaleidoscope of chaos. Mark went quietly, his shoulders slumped with defeat. I got my laptop back. It felt cold and foreign in my hands, a constant reminder of his betrayal. The police later confirmed my suspicions. Mark had been involved in something much bigger than a simple quick job. He was facing serious charges. The weight of his actions pressed down on me. The sense of betrayal was a physical ache. How could I have been so wrong about someone? The scars of Mark's deceit ran deep. Trust, once broken, is a fragile thing to rebuild. And as I looked at his face, pale and drawn, in the back of the police car, a chilling truth settled in my gut. Some friends, some betrayals you never truly recover from.